Good morning, everybody. Today we're going to start our day off right with some scrambled eggs. I'm going to show you the proper way to make them so we can get the true taste of an egg to come through. We're not going to make them too overcooked, but rather we're going to keep them a little bit wet, a little bit moist. That way we can all enjoy a nice plate of scrambled eggs. Eggs also need to have the same tender love and care that you would give your nice ribeye steak or your nice fresh piece of salmon. Because you can't just throw an egg on the fire and expect it to come out beautifully. You keep your eggs, as I was saying, a little bit moist, a little bit wet, and that way you can get the true flavor of an egg. So let's get cracking. Grab a bowl, get your eggs, and crack away. The reason why you want to crack either against the cutting board or the table or against the eggs is that way you reduce the risk of having shells fall into your egg yolks. It seems silly, but once you crack a couple thousand eggs, I used to be a breakfast cook, you're going to understand that getting those tricky shells is very tedious and time consuming. But as you can see here, we have 3 beautiful eggs, no shells. Now I want to add some flavor to the eggs, so we're going to grab some pepper. Don't be shy. A lot of times home cooks, they under season. You gotta be confident enough in your skills and in your palate to let the flavors do the talking. Give us some pepper. We're going to get some salt. I'm using kosher salt. Get the kosher salt in there. Don't be afraid. 2 pinches should be good. And now we're going to get a fork and we're going to whisk it up. With your fork, you're going to want to whisk. You don't want to now beat the egg too much. You want to just to still remain, have the yellows and the white, the yolk and the egg whites. You basically just want the yolk and the egg white to get to know each other a little bit. Once you get to about this consistency, that's all you really need. Now we're going to get a pan on the stove and I'm going to show you what to do from there. So we're going to be using ghee butter today just because I don't have any regular butter in my house. Can't believe it. Nothing wrong with using this. The way clarified butter works is bring it up to boil, get rid of like the lactose enzymes, and what you're left with is a nice nutty kind of flavored butter. I personally like it. It's good to use in some recipes. We're going to try it out with some eggs today. We're going to hope it goes pretty well. All you really need is about a teaspoon. It's probably even too much, just because we're using 3 eggs. As you can see, the pan is on, but it's not on high heat. You don't want your eggs to make that sizzle sound. If your eggs start to sizzle, you know that your pan's too hot. If that's the case, lower the heat, take the pan off, no harm done. Once it cools down, then you can continue cooking. Now that your butter is melted, grab your eggs and pour in. And now the fun part, you just start making figure eights. Eggs are going to cook fast. Doesn't take a lot of heat to cook an egg. But once it starts cooking, then you're good to go. And as you can see, the outer edges are already starting to cook. You generally don't want to let your eggs just sit in the pan just like this. Go have a coffee, talk to the friends. That's not good. You gotta always take care of it. Don't let it sit for too long. And just mix away. So our eggs are starting to cook. Now it's starting to cook a little bit faster. Just as the pan gets hot, the eggs get used to temperature. You can see starting to cook. The outside's still a bit too wet. And that's what I was trying to explain earlier, is that we don't want our eggs to be runny. We want them to be moist. Taking out the moisture is no good. It's just going to dry up the egg. I mean, people wouldn't want to eat dry chicken, so why would you want to eat dry eggs? So we're almost done, as you can see. So we're just about done. As you can see, the egg's just about finished cooking. It's still a little bit wet. It's not too dry, but always taste your food, always touch your food, always be sanitary. You don't want to be picking up and licking your fingers. Bring it over to your plate and add it in. And as you can see, we have nice moist eggs. They're not too dry. They got lots of moisture into them. And that way you can actually enjoy the taste of the eggs. And there you have it. That's the final product. It took a couple minutes. Keep your eggs moist. Keep them nice and wet inside. You don't want to overcook it. You want the natural flavors to really come out. All we really did was 3 eggs, salt, pepper, a little bit of butter, low heat on the pan, keep mixing, and there you have it. Like this video, comment down below what you want me to make next. I'm going to try and get on a schedule to do these kind of things, but once a week. I won't just be doing cooking. We'll make some sugar, spice, and everything nice. And hope you like this. Subscribe, and I'll see you next time.